Okay, so welcome to another episode of us here at Leslie interviewing our student alumni. Today we have another student who's very special to us. Hi Arya, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good as well. First of all, Arya, congratulations on your admits for the masters. Must be very busy time for you trying to wrap up everything and preparing to leave for the United Kingdom.
Yeah, it is.
And firstly, thank you so much for making this time to speak with us today. My first question to you would be, we understand that you applied for Masters in Psychology program in the UK. Which all admits did you get?
So far I have gotten University of Manchester, and that's where I am going. I haven't heard back from about 2 to 3 colleges. So I think that process is something that will still happen, but I don't think I'm gonna consider them anyway. So that's Trinity, UCL,
Hmm.
and King. Those are the ones I haven't heard back.
Yeah, but you're like set on the University of Manchester now.
Yeah, that was my first preference to begin with.
Oh, perfect. That's really nice. And now you've already spoken about why or like where you're going, the University of Manchester. Apart from it being your first preference, what are some other reasons that make you want to go to the University of Manchester?
So the first thing that I like about it is that it's not in London. So it's a very reputed college, but I don't have to go through the expenses of it being in a very, expensive city.
Yeah.
So that was one reason why it was my first preference. Moreover, when I look at the course structure, it seems like something very close to what I was looking at when I wanted to do the field of clinical psychology. Plus, its employability rate is really high, and I got to interact with a lot of alumni and teachers beforehand, and I absolutely loved that interaction. So that I think it felt more homely as compared to
Mhm.
other universities for me.
Perfect. In the end, you always have to choose like what feels right for you yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Also, you're going for psychology. So, could you share with us the reasons why you want to pursue your studies in psychology? And also, what kind of career do you aspire to build based on the subject that you're going to study in your master's?
All right. So I have honestly been clear that I wanted to do psychology since I was 13. Since eighth grade, I just knew this was my field that I wanted to go through. And now that I think about, almost having done it for 5 years, I think I wouldn't have been able to do anything else as
Mhm.
well as I can do psychology. Why I started wanting to do it is it was just a simple conversation between my dad and I, and I really like understanding human behavior and why people do stuff, and that just led me into this entire field. I did it through my 11th and 12th and my graduation as well. And it is something that comes really, really naturally to me. I don't have to necessarily step out of my comfort zone too much, but at the same
Mhm.
time, make me want to work harder in the field. So I
Mhm.
feel like when you have those things, they say you feel like you haven't worked a day if you like what you're doing, right?
Right.
So that's the that's what psychology makes me feel like. After doing undergrad, many people end up going into different fields in psychology because it's very versatile. People do marketing and business and all of that. I am very clear that I want to do therapy and I want to go in
Mhm.
that direction. So after my master's, I'll be doing a declin Psy, which is a doctorate in clinical
Yeah.
psychology, and then go on to doing like practicing therapy. So that's the plan, hopefully.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. And it's good to see you've already like planned out like all your steps for now. And mainly that your motivation is intrinsic and it comes from within and it's not like any external apart from external factors, you also have a lot of internal motivation that's helping you. That's really good to hear. So how would you actually describe the process of applying abroad for your studies? How hectic and demanding was it all?
Uh, you know what? I know people say that it's a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a lot. I'm not gonna lie, but being with Leslie, I feel like the process happened before I knew it. Like before it got too hectic, I had already done majority of the steps. So many people started contemplating with universities they want to go to in December last year. That is when applications open. On the other hand, I had a list ready, I had documents ready, I had my SOP ready, like everything in place. So it honestly just when December hit, like 1st of December is like the start, right? As soon as that hit, I was just uploading stuff. There was no work as such. So I'm truly, truly grateful for that. But it is a few months of scheduling, time management, a lot of, you know, like little hours. Even if you're putting just an hour a day into maybe writing your SOP, editing something, gathering documents, maybe speaking to people, understanding which universities you want to go to, I feel like half the battle's won there just a few months before, And after that, it's just a smooth sailing process. You don't have to stress about that at all, as long as the first 3 months is solved.
That makes sense. So what I infer from your answer is that preparation is always important, and it's
Exactly.
you really can't do everything last minute because that's just going to put a lot of
Yeah.
burden on you. Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. And what I know is that you have been with Leslie since your school days. So can
Yeah.
you describe some of the highlights of this relationship that you've built with Leslie? How did it actually help you?
I think thanks to my undergrad prep, so I was going to go to University of Toronto through Leslie only after my 12th.
Yeah.
All right. So my prep has started since then. And even before 12th, I think since 10th summer vacation, I started prepping for my SATs. And since then, I've been with Leslie and I got
Mhm.
it through Leslie. And it was a whole thing. So I think they made me truly understand the importance of scheduling. So now it came very naturally to me this time when I did it.
Mhm.
Because of COVID hitting and all of that, so all my plans got cancelled. So that is a separate discussion altogether. But I think one of the biggest takeaways from Leslie that I've had is being able to structure it. See, it's a very long, tedious process, university applications, especially abroad. So when you have someone externally, when you're as young as 14, 15, when an external body is trying to structure this process for you, after a while you internalize it, right?
Right.
You start looking for organization. And that is something that helped me even for my master's application. And in fact, it also got me the position of being able to help my juniors right now.
Mhm.
Um, all my juniors who will plan to go abroad this, like as in start applications this year. I'm helping them out as well, understanding the process, how to organize all of that. So it's helping me do that also. So I think structure, one of the biggest thing that I've learned from this Leslie experience is structure.
That is so insightful, and especially I really like how you put, getting and learning how to be structured and then sort of passing it on to like your juniors and everything. That is definitely how
Yeah,
like knowledge should be passed on. So kudos to you for that. That's really great.
thank
And
you.
coming to specific study abroad services at Leslie, what ways has it helped you?
So I think one of the biggest advantage of Leslie is its accessibility. I feel like the counselors are very, very accessible.
Mm-hmm.
um, they are very like they build an emotional connection with you more than a professional one, right? So every service that they offer from the very start feels like it's something that you need, and it turns out to be very, very helpful. Why? Because they don't look at you from a perspective of just a client, but a person that's a part of their family now,
Right, agree.
right? So since day one, since I had done my aptitude test to being a part of SATs too. I remember there were a few hurdles that came through that SAT part as well. And Dipti ma'am was so understanding about it, so responsive. And it was a scary time for me as well, because as a child, it's a very ambiguous time of what you're doing, what you're not.
Mm-hmm.
So having a mentor in that situation like Dipti ma'am and Shalini ma'am is very helpful. So that being said, one of the biggest helps that I've gotten is also from Nilofer ma'am for my editing my SOP, because I was honestly very proud of my writing skills until I sat to write an SOP, because that's another ball game. So having like 12 a.m. conversations with her about how to write the SOP right and changing it 1,000 times, speaking to Shantanu sir, all that makes you feel like you're part of a family that's actually trying to help you. So I think that was really necessary for me.
Yeah, so I really like your answer, and what I get from it is that Leslie takes a very centric approach and like a very hands-on approach when it comes to like each student. And as you
Mm-hmm.
said, it's they don't look at you as just a client, it's the student first, and prioritizing students' need is what um people and the counselors at Leslie keep as their number one priority, and not just look at you as another business opportunity or just another, money grab. Coming to my last question to you, would you like to recommend Leslie's services to, anyone your juniors or just like anyone in your circle?
I actually have. Everyone that talks to me about, oh, my child is doing, like is confused what career to take, or
Mhm.
I'm going to start my application process, all of that. To all of them, I say, please just try Leslie. More, it's, people have had horror stories with other career counseling firms, but I can guarantee, Leslie, like I know what kind of services I have gotten here, and I would recommend that to literally everyone I know. So I have done that already. I feel like a few of my family members also have come to Dipti ma'am for aptitude testing and all of that. So as much as I can, I have spread the word about Leslie. So I definitely will in the future as well.
That's amazing. That's really good to hear. And finally, if I had to ask you, what is that one advice, so like a one line advice that you would want to give people who are just starting out with their study abroad applications, just researching about universities?
Um, like I said, time management and structuring is very important, especially before deadlines. But more than that, what I would say is don't lose yourself in the process. Like, it's very structured, right? Like they want very specific things, transcripts, SOPs, all of that. But just keep trying to have highlight certain things about yourself that shine. Because everyone wants to run behind a rat race and do the same thing. I need internships. I need my
Yeah,
SOP to be very well structured. I need extracurricular activities. All that's fine. But what do you do best? The only way you will get into the university you want is if that somehow shines. Like what makes you special? Standing out from all the 1 lakh applicants that are trying to get into the same university. So I think don't lose yourself. I would say that.
that's very insightful. And thank you so much, Arya. With that, we come to an end of this interview session. I'm pretty sure everything that you've said today has not only helped me, but is also going to help a lot of students who are just starting out or students who have already started out to sort of resonate with your story and everything that you have to say. So thank you so much for being a part of this today.
Thank you for taking this. Thank
Thank
you.
you.